Welcome to Little English Studio, where English learning meets the inspiring stories of the world's greatest people. Here, we share life journeys told in clear, simple English, so you can improve your English while learning about courage, history, and science. Today, we tell the story of Hedwig Kohn, a woman who loved physics at a time when women were not welcome in science. She became one of the first women to earn the right to teach university physics in Germany. She studied the mysteries of light and radiation, contributed to scientific knowledge, and inspired generations. Her life was also marked by challenges. As a Jewish woman in Nazi Germany, she was forced to leave her country. Yet, through courage, determination, and brilliance, she built a career in the United States and left a lasting legacy. This is the story of Hedwig Kohn, a story of persistence, passion, and triumph against all odds. Hedwig Kohn was born on April 5, 1887 in Breslau, Germany, today Wrocław, Poland. She was the second daughter of Georg and Helene Kohn. Her father owned a small factory and her family was middle class. From a young age, Hedwig showed a strong curiosity about the world. She loved numbers, puzzles, and questions about nature. While other girls were expected to focus on music, arts, or home skills, Hedwig wanted to study science. At the end of the 19th century, girls in Germany had very few opportunities in higher education. Schools for girls were limited, and most universities did not admit women. But Hedwig was determined. She wanted to learn physics, the science of nature's deepest laws. In 1907, Hedwig Kohn was admitted to the University of Breslau. This was extraordinary, because only a handful of women studied physics at that time in Germany. She joined the lectures of Otto Lummer, a famous physicist known for his work on light, radiation, and blackbody physics. At the university, Hedwig worked hard to prove herself. Male students often doubted her. Professors questioned whether women could handle serious science, but Hedwig ignored the prejudice. She focused on her experiments, her mathematics, and her love for learning. In 1913, she completed her doctorate under Lummer, working on radiation and light emission. Her work added new understanding to how atoms emit and absorb light, important questions in the early 20th century, when physics was entering the age of quantum theory. After receiving her doctorate, Kohn remained at the University of Breslau. She became an assistant in physics, teaching and researching. For a woman in 1910s Germany, this was very rare. She published papers in respected journals, focusing on flame spectroscopy and atomic emission. Her experiments required patience, precision, and creativity. She gained respect among physicists for her technical skill, but she wanted more. In Germany, to become a full professor and independent researcher, one needed the habilitation, a qualification beyond the doctorate. Very few women were ever granted this. Throughout the 1920s, Hedwig Kohn worked toward her habilitation. She taught courses, supervised students, and continued her research. But because she was a woman, the university delayed and resisted. Finally, in 1930, after years of persistence, she was awarded her habilitation. This made her only the second woman ever to earn this qualification in physics in Germany. It was a historic achievement. Now, Kohn could officially lecture and lead research. She taught courses on experimental physics, inspiring many students. She was living her dream, a woman scientist breaking barriers. But history soon turned against her. In 1933, Adolf Hitler and the Nazis came to power in Germany. New laws targeted Jews, banning them from teaching and government jobs. Because Hedwig Kohn was Jewish, she lost her position. She was forbidden to lecture, forbidden to conduct research, forbidden to work in the university. She was 46 years old, a respected scientist, suddenly cut off from her career. She faced a terrible choice: stay in Germany and be silenced, or try to escape. In the late 1930s, Kohn sought refuge. It was not easy. Many countries closed their borders to Jewish refugees. Universities abroad often hesitated to hire a woman scientist from Germany. In 1939, with help from international contacts, Kohn left Germany. She first went to Switzerland, then to the United Kingdom. She worked briefly in laboratories, but her future was uncertain. Finally, in 1940, she was offered a chance to move to the United States. With support from American physicists and refugee aid organizations, she sailed across the Atlantic and began a new life in America. In America, Kohn found new opportunities. She taught physics at Bryn Mawr College, Wellesley College, and later at Duke University. She was known as a careful, patient teacher who encouraged women to study science. She told her students that science required not only intelligence, but also perseverance and passion. Her research continued as well. She published papers on spectroscopy, light emission, and atomic structure. Though she never reached the same position she might have held in Germany, she made important contributions to American science education. Hedwig Kohn retired from teaching in 1952, but continued research as an emeritus scientist. She lived quietly, dedicated to her students, her science, and her memories of a difficult past. She passed away on November 26, 1964, in Durham, North Carolina. Today, Kohn is remembered as one of the pioneering women in physics. She was one of only 3 women to ever earn habilitation in physics in Germany before World War II. Her persistence opened doors for later generations of women scientists. Her life is a story of both tragedy and triumph. Tragedy because her career was interrupted by discrimination and exile. Triumph because she rebuilt her life, continued her work, and left an enduring mark on physics. Persistence in the face of barriers, she proved that women could succeed in science, even when the system resisted. Courage in times of crisis, she survived persecution, exile, and loss, yet continued her work. The power of education, she inspired many students, especially women, to pursue physics. Science belongs to everyone. Her story reminds us that talent knows no gender, race, or religion. And that is the story of Hedwig Kohn, a woman who loved physics, defied prejudice, and overcame exile. From Breslau to America, from forbidden classrooms to respected colleges, she carried the torch of science with dignity and strength. Her life tells us, never give up your passion, even when the world tries to silence you. Thank you for watching and learning with Little English Studio. Stay curious, stay brave, and keep learning.